Hi, crafty friend. It's Justine Dvorak. I'm here over on the Pajama Crafter Stamps YouTube channel. Once again, I'm so happy to be here today, and I'm excited to show you some fun golf cards. I'm using the Who's Your Caddy stamp set, and I'm also using the new spring paper from Pajama Crafter Stamps that is super plaid and fun. I also have the Whoa, Dang, and Yikes dies, which I love using. I've been using them so much. I've been pulling for them. You're going to see them on my recent cards here, the ones that I have made and ones I will be making. Here's two more cards using this stamp set, and one of them is a bit cheeky, so if it's not your vibe, I'm sorry. I will make other cards and it will be your vibe, I hope. But I really love the plaid paper. I think it is so gorgeous. It foils very nicely, and I hope that if you get this stamp set, something here inspires you today. Now, I'm going to start by making this green card today on camera. The other card that's up on the right that is pinkish will be over on my channel. So this is going to be a window style card. The window is going to look at the golf ball. So I'm making basically a shaker, but nothing inside the shaker. So I'm calling it a window. Maybe that's a technical term. Maybe it isn't. I really don't know, but that's what we're going to go with today. So I'm going to double up my foam as I do, and I will just go around my card and make sure everything is nicely supported. That's always very important when you're using foam, to make sure everything is even and supported. I especially want to make sure that nothing is going to show through the window area. How I got the window in the first place, I used a die that I've had in my craft room for almost 2 years from Trinity Stamps. I love having go-to dies, and the Yikes, Dang, and Whoa from Pajama Crafter Stamps are those kind of dies. They're going to live in my craft room forever, even if they pull them off the website in 25 years, whatever it might be. I'm going to be using them still because I think they're really fun. I love sentiments. I love shaped cards. Maybe I know there's certain things in my craft room that are not going to go anywhere. Anyway, that was such a tangent. The other thing that I need to mention about how I got the window is I used a scrap piece of acetate. Now this time I was a good earth steward, and I used packaging from a, what was it? It was like a cookie thing. A cookie packaging thing. I don't buy a lot of baked goods because I like to bake myself, but I did find this packaging that was smooth, clean, and flat. So I actually cut it up with my scissors and I brought it home from school. Someone had something like it was like one of those little treat thingies from the gas station, and I cut it up and I brought it home. I washed it. It's good to go. Why not use something that was completely free in your art? I always think that's fun to reuse and reduce and recycle. Your little PSA from me today. We're going to get nice and close as I color this stamped image from the stamp set. It is, I think, my favorite stamped image from the stamp set. I love the perspective of maybe like of a little bug or something that's on the grass looking up at the golf ball. I think it looks super cool, a great angle. And now I have an opportunity to color the grass, the tee, and the ball. But as I said in my other video that I'm going to be putting up with that pink card, if coloring is not your thing and you want to have a nice big image like this, you don't have to color any of the golf ball or the tee. You just have to color the grass. And if you have like a brown marker, one single brown marker, one single green colored pencil, you can make a really cool image. I'm just beefing mine up with a little bit of shading with some cool tone Copic markers, but you don't even have to do that because the artistry on the stamp set has a lot of shading and texture already. So I'm just being extra per usual. But if you are new to crafting or if coloring is just not your thing, you don't have to do anything, especially with like the hand. There's one that is like the hand with the glove holding the ball going down to the tee. You do not have to color most of that glove, and it's going to be such a wow image. But that's thanks to the stamp per usual. Here we go. We are coloring the tee. I'm just going to grab some C5. What colors do you love using with your Copics? If you use Copics, I love the cool tone grays. They are my go-to. I just rewatched the craft roulette that Joy went on. Shout out to Joy, one of the owners of Pajama Crafter Stamps, and she was asked what was her favorite Copic marker. And I think mine is C5, that darker gray. Okay, I'm going to put my panel that I have colored right onto my back of my card here, which is now my front. Whoops, it got stuck. Let's try that again. And this will make my window. I want to make sure that the bottom of the window is just barely covering up the grass because I want my window to be like full of the image and not lost any of the grass because there isn't a lot of grass there, but I don't want to lose whatever I do have. Then the rest of this is going to be just stuck to my card base, so we don't have to worry about that at all. For my sentiment, I wanted to pull something from my stash because if you remember, this year is the year of using my stash up. That's one of my New Year's resolutions. We're here in month 5, number 5, May, and I'm still trying. And luckily, I have a lot of great things in my stash to pull from, so it's not really that much of a chore. At this point, I don't know what I was trying to do taking this off, but let's just grab a fun sentiment from my stash, and graduation is right around the corner, so we're going to grab a graduation stamp. Let me know in the comments if you are a side folder card like this one will be, or if you are a top folding card person. I love a top folding card, but side folding cards are easier for me because then I don't have to bring out my second cutter. I hope that makes sense. To me, I love a top folding card though, because I like giving someone a top folding card and then they're almost surprised when it opens up from the bottom. It's just exciting. So I'm lining this up right on top of my card base. You might have noticed my little trimmer came in handy there. I did cut it down just so I didn't have any extra white hanging off the edge, which shocker, there it was again. Gross. I don't like that look, so we're going to snip it off. It's kind of like when you do your hair, at least when I did my hair when I was younger, and I just told myself like the back of the head is nobody's business. So the back of your project is nobody's business. Okay, what stamp did I choose? I chose Congrats Grad. This is from the Hats Off collection that came out last year from Pajama Crafter Stamps. I really love this one. This has gotten so much use out of the stamp and the coordinating die from my craft room. I even had my friend Caroline borrow this stamp set for a little while. And so I really like this one. I think that it is perfect for graduation cards. You really just need this one set and you can make a lot of different cards. And you can pair it with other things you have in your stash like I am doing with the golf card here. Look at this stamp just come to life with that white embossing powder. White embossing powder is like one of my not new, but like it's my go-to for sentiments at this point. I just love it. I missed a little bit on the bottom, but now we got it all good. Well, this one has a coordinating die, and if you know me, you know I love a coordinating die when it comes to sentiments. Other ones I could really deal without because I don't mind a fussy cut. But with sentiments, I love it looking so crisp. Now to beef up this stamp even more, I'm going to use my Copic marker, which is a darker green, YG67. Yes, that is the right number, YG67, and make it nice and dark. And look at how this pops. And it's just going to go right over the little bottom of the window. How cute is that? Then I'm going to pull from my stash once again and add a few very light, delicate embellishments. Nothing crazy. You could totally customize this card with school colors and make this so personal for a loved one, a friend, a family, a neighbor, a grandchild, a niece, a child of your own, whatever, whoever's graduating. What are you doing with that clear marker, you might ask? Well, I will tell you, friend. I got some of my green marker on my white embossing powder. I know, what a crime. What a crime. But that that colorless blender really works like a little eraser. And it just picks up the green, takes it off of the white embossing powder, and no one ever will know except you and me watching this video. And that's it. Now I'm going to be a little bit fussy with these embellishments because I am going to use more than 3. What? Yes, more is more when it comes to embellishments. You'll learn that if you watch my pink shaker card with that plaid paper up there. I go crazy with the embellishments, so if you haven't checked out that video, be sure to check that video out. I will have all of the products I used from Pajama Crafter Stamps linked in the description, so if you are interested, check them out. I'll give you one last look at all the cards I made with this set so far, well, the 3, and then you can check out that pink one on my channel, Stationery by Justine. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye, crafty friend.